What's going on, guys? Tim here with T-Dubs Entertainment, and I have another thing to discuss, Dragon Ball related. You guys remember this form? You guys remember this? You remember when this form was relevant? Do you guys remember when this form actually meant something? When it actually had some kind of value? It was all hyped up in the Namek saga. It was all hyped up, and he become the legend. And they thought Goku was the Super Saiyan. The Vegeta thought he was the Super Saiyan, and everybody was trying to, we was all anticipating who is the Super Saiyan and who's gonna be the Super Saiyan and all that kind of stuff. You remember when Goku first turned Super Saiyan? You remember that legendary transformation? It's still my favorite, by the way. Out of all the other transformations, to me, it was even better than when Goku transformed into Super Saiyan 3. It was better than when Gohan transformed into Super Saiyan 2. The Super Saiyan transformations were my favorite out of each of. Even when Vegeta transformed first into a Super Saiyan, when Trunks first transformed in his own special, when Gohan transformed, all of their transformations were legendary because of all the hell they had to go through to get to those transformations. You remember when this was relevant? Take me back to Super Saiyan, because this transformation was the most legendary. When it started becoming a joke in the Buu saga, honestly, because Goten and Trunks transformed too easily. They had to go through, and I understand why they made it that easy, so they could be relevant in the Buu saga. They had to get them up to Super Saiyan so they could be compatible with whatever was going on in that arc. But Super Saiyan I remember when it was actually worth something. Dragon Ball Super made it meaningless. Dragon Ball GT actually started when it came to making it meaningless. Super didn't mean anything in GT. Didn't mean anything after the Buu saga, because everybody that had Super Saiyan was a joke. After when the androids came in and when Cell came in, it was a joke. And when Super came in, it was definitely a joke. So, but at least in the Cell saga, they perfected Super Saiyan. They mastered it. They were trying to figure out how to master it, how to figure out how to make it stronger without actually slowing down your stamina, without actually they were trying to, and the whole time Goku was training Gohan in the time chamber, they were trying to figure out a way to perfect it without it draining stamina, without it just being a meaningless power up. Because Goku even said he was against all the powering up and stuff. He's like, it was no good if you can't hit your opponent and it's bad on stamina. When they were actually focusing on skill, when they were actually focusing on technique and all of that, to sin without increasing your stamina, it was skill, it was technique, it was just martial arts related. It had more substance. This transformation actually meant something in Z. It meant something in it really did mean something in the Cell saga, because Super Saiyan 2 beat Cell. Back then it wasn't Super Saiyan 2. Gohan just unlocked his potential. Goku called it Super Saiyan 2. Goku just gave it a name in the Buu saga. But in the Cell saga, it was just he unlocked his potential. It was his potential unlocked combined with the Super Saiyan transformation. So it was more of it was due to him training in the time chamber. It was due to his training and his hard work towards ascending and all of that. So yeah, this is one of the most legendary transformations to me, and I like this one because it's not all that extra. It's not all that crazy. It doesn't have all this purple hair, orange hair. It was the first one. It was the GOAT. When everybody transformed, it was the best. I still remember it. If you hadn't watched Dragon Ball Z and anything like that, if you're one of these super fanboys, Dragon Ball Super fanboys, that are excited about all these different transformations, go back and watch when the Saiyans first transformed into Super Saiyan. Go back and watch the struggles they had to go through versus the tingly back crap that's in Super. You just tingle your back and you transform. No, that was not in Z. Okay? None of this crap was going on. None of this stupid stuff. They had to work hard. People had to die for folks to transform. Folks had to get hurt for people to transform. Okay? Folks had to go. They had to go through stuff. Goku had to train in 100 times Earth gravity. Vegeta had to train in 400 times Earth gravity. They had to do all this training to get their bodies up to be able to handle the transformation. going at the train in the time chamber for a year, where the weather changed and the climate always was changing. It'd go from hot to extremely cold. They had to train in extensive conditions. They had to train to near death. They had to come back from near death. They had to get Zenkai boots and all this kind of stuff. They had to go through all kind of hell. Vegeta died and came back to life, and still didn't unlock the form. He had to train, and they folks risked their lives in order to transform. Now you got in the Buu saga, you have in Super, where they just pulling out transformations. They're just pulling out new transformations. They're transforming for the sake of transforming. Oh, I'm backed into a corner. Guess I gotta transform. Gotta ascend. No, man. No. No, it wasn't like that. Krillin had to die for Goku to do this. Krillin had to die. Goku was backed into a corner. He tried everything he could to beat Frieza. Nothing worked. The Spirit Bomb didn't work. Okay? He did everything he could. But Vegeta was trying to tell him how to, the opposite wound up happening. He said you got to become a Super Saiyan in order to beat Frieza. You had to transform. But they tried everything they could to beat Frieza. The transformation, it wasn't a butt pull. It just wasn't. Because Krillin had to die. It was a whole bunch of stuff had to go on. It was rage induced, of course, but the way they did it was gold. The way they did it was on the money. Now it's just marketing. We were just fine without Super Saiyan Blue. I'm going to talk about Super Saiyan Blue in another video, about how it's just a palette swap. That's all it is. It's just this form with a palette swap. But I'll talk about that in a later video. But this form, that's when Super Saiyan mattered. That's when that's when it actually, remember when it actually mattered. Now it doesn't mean anything. It's not even used now. It's not used. They just go straight to Blue. They just go straight to Ultra Instinct. They just go straight to whatever Vegeta does. Okay? It's not, I'm not a fan of the extra transformations, okay? Anything outside of Z, I'm not really a fan of, with the exception of Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan 4, because those are awesome to me. I like the whole concept of Super Saiyan God. Like I said, they just used it wrong. They just used it wrong. They should have made it completely separate from Super Saiyan transformation. They should have made it separate from Super Saiyan. But that's just my opinion. But know what you guys think in the comments. This is one of my favorites. It's my all-time favorite, next to probably Super Saiyan 2. But according to Toriyama, Super Saiyan 2 is just a powered-up state of Super Saiyan. So Super Saiyan is my all-time favorite out of all of them. It's my all-time favorite transformation. When all of them transformed into Super Saiyan, that was my all-time favorite. All the rest of the transformations were just butt pulls and just used to sell merchandise. Even though Super Saiyan God is the same thing, it was just hyped up to sell merchandise. I actually like the way it looks. I mean, other people may disagree. Other honest content creators may disagree with me, but I have a right to my own opinion, just like they have a right to theirs. I like Super Saiyan God. I just don't like what they did with it. But it's just Teed Up signing out.